don't even know where to fully start with this one, where to really begin this conversation. I know. Okay, let's begin with here, a disclaimer, because we love disclaimers on YouTube. No, I do think they're really important. Today we're going to be talking about tech layoffs, hiring freezes. You've probably seen some of these articles, if not heard it on the news. It's everywhere you look, especially in the tech world right now. It can be kind of terrifying whether you are looking for a job, studying, or like myself, working in the industry. And this disclaimer is simply that this video I am making around my thoughts on hiring freezes and tech layoffs is just exactly that. It's just my thoughts. So I don't want you coming here. I am not an expert on what the future will hold. I do not have a crystal ball. I am speaking from my experience. Also, speaking of my experience with this really started when I decided to quit my job back in the summer without having another job lined up at the time, and just take a minute to breathe. And it was during that time that I did that a lot of these articles started surfacing. And trust me, I had moments where I was like, what did you just do, Tiffany? But I want to really talk about how I navigated that. A lot of you have been asking questions around these topics, so I'm going to cover my thoughts around them today. And all right, let's just jump right into it. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tech, coding, career-related videos. And if I don't answer your question in this video around this topic, leave it down in the comments. I always answer every single one of your questions. It might take a day or two, but I will get to you. Okay, let's jump into it. For a bit more context around my experience with this, this past summer, I decided to quit my software developer job, and at the time I didn't have another one lined up. Why I did that, there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes, meaning there was a family member who was dealing with some health issues. I knew I wanted to take the summer to just breathe and get more into developer relations, which I'm at a job now in developer relations and I love it. But the point being, it was a risk that I took. And while I say that, I want to really highlight, I wouldn't have been able or wouldn't have felt comfortable taking that risk or that leap if I didn't have a financial plan lined up. And what I mean by this is I knew that for X number of months or time that I could still comfortably live my life because of how I had set things up prior. So it wasn't as though it was an irresponsible decision by any means. Okay, I feel like I needed to get that out of the way just to do that disclosure because I don't want to mislead anyone through these topics. Now, a lot of you, let me pull up the questions here because I asked in our community tab questions you have around this. One question that I got asked, and it got upvoted quite a bit, is a job in tech still worth pursuing? If I haven't finished my studies yet, should I keep studying? And my opinion in that is absolutely. This too shall pass. Yes, it's not the greatest environment right now. Tech is really touching every part of our future, and it will continue to. So pursuing a degree in it, in my opinion, is still extraordinarily valuable. So don't let the news or the media that is pushing these headlines, I mean, they're pushing them to the extremes as well because, of course, that makes them profitable. I'm not saying it isn't the reality of what's going on, but just keep in mind that this too shall pass. Okay, next question I got asked is, what are important steps to take to always be prepared for an unexpected, or in this case, expected layoff? Also, do you have any advice on how to deal with the stress of job insecurity? Okay, so let's talk about part one of that question because it leads into part two. So steps to take before potentially getting laid off or preparing if you're worried about getting laid off. Well, of course, there's a financial aspect, ensuring that you are putting away money in your savings, that if something does happen, you are able to continue to live for a while without a job as you look for a new one. This is, in my opinion, the most important thing. You need to have something to fall back on. And it really goes into ensuring you are managing your money, being aware of your investments, whatever you have set up. That's not for me to tell you what to do, but whatever you have set up, make sure that you can envision, if gosh forbid something was to happen, that you could survive for X amount of time while looking for a new job. The other part of this is taking money aside. Something that I think is so important is to not get how do I say this, is to not get too comfortable in your job. You know, even if you've been there for a few years, I think this whole tech layoff and hiring freeze has really reinforced that yes, tech is a cushy and high-paying industry and all this wonderful stuff, but you still need to utilize skills outside of your job. So meaning keep your network fresh, keep on interacting with people either at your old company that you had a connection with or others you really admire in the industry. Keep those doors open, keep that conversation open, because you don't want to go to them right when you need something. You want to keep that relationship ongoing. This could be even just a monthly check-in on hey, how are you doing via email or LinkedIn? And it's something that I still have to remind myself to do because it's difficult. Everyone gets so busy so quickly, but keeping your connections open is really important. The other side of this is keeping your skills fresh. So even if you have been a developer or data science, whatever industry, whatever role you are in, keeping your skills fresh by either it's just doing a few interview questions on the side once in a while. Maybe you do an interview with another company, even if you're not necessarily really looking, but just to explore and practice those interview skills. Well, maybe that's not a good idea because you really don't want to waste anyone's time. Let's not do that. But if you go online and start practicing interview questions, it's another way just to make sure you're keeping those skills fresh, because that's something as well that when we get into a role, yes, maybe you're coding or speaking about technical topics, but it might be very specific. So you want to ensure that other areas of your skill set are staying strong as well. Another great question. Are new grads or early career software engineer positions safe, or can they be rescinded before starting work? So it varies company to company, so I don't want to say yes or no, but yes, I've heard stories of people who have, accepted the job offer, they're ready to start, and then they get an email and unfortunately they are not going to be working for the company. This is absolutely terrible, and I can't imagine how that would feel, how devastating that would feel, and I can see as a new grad or looking for your first job how terrifying this can feel. And I think to really answer your question, if you are someone who is studying currently or looking for their first job, you just have to be aware of the market right now and then also kind of mentally be prepared for it, meaning that it's not something you did wrong or it's not personal, it's just the way it is right now. And rather than looking at it as beating yourself up or worried about it, you just have to put yourself out there, hope for the best, and if it doesn't go as planned, know that that company wanted to hire you and thought you were so amazing, so many others will too. It's just gonna take a bit of time. So for anyone who has experiences, I cannot imagine how that would feel, but it's not you personally, and I think that really helps when you take the personable aspect out of it, that they're not rescinding their offer because of who I am. They wanted to hire me. It's just because of, if anything, it shows more about that company, unfortunately, that, there's a lot going on right now. They just can't, the budget doesn't allow for it. So it's nothing to be really personal. I know that's not a perfect answer and it just sucks at the end of the day, but I really wanted to, that's how I would navigate it. So to sum it up, yes, getting a job in tech, I think, is still very exciting, and I think there is so much opportunity. And once again, going back to what I first said, this too shall pass. It's just kind of this wave we are in, but don't let that stop you from going after what you really want, you're passionate about, or you enjoy doing. And if that is something that you are studying in tech, keep on doing it, because there is still so many opportunities out there. I know for myself, when I was looking for a job this past summer, it felt like there was just so many opportunities. And granted, I am not someone who is just starting out in the industry, so I know it's completely different, but I'm telling you this to hopefully share with you that it's not as though there is no one hiring or anything like that. And there is opportunity still there. I think the most important thing is keeping your networking going, keeping your options open, and keeping your skills strong. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this though, and I hope my perspective will help you kind of move forward. I know it can be a scary time for many, but we got this. We have an amazing community. Actually, on that note, if you are with a company that is hiring, please leave it down in the comments. There are some amazing individuals part of this community, so who knows? You might just find your dream job or your dream employee through this. All right, I hope you enjoyed this and found this perspective valuable and helpful. As I mentioned, if you have any other questions, leave them down below. And okay, I have to go eat supper. It's dinner time now. Okay, bye everyone.